All right, welcome everyone to the deep dive. Today we're getting into the 2025 Canadian Grand Prix.
Yeah, we've got the race reports, highlights, all that stuff here.
Exactly. And our mission really is to dig deeper than just the results. We want to pull out the key moments, the surprises, the strategic stuff from Montreal based on this material.
And there's a lot in these sources. I mean, fascinating details. You've got strategic calls, some brilliant driving.
Oh, yeah?
And some, well, pretty stunning drama towards the end that really shook things up. We'll get into the driver performances, team decisions, all of it.
Definitely. So by the end of this, you'll get the picture, a big win for Mercedes, an amazing debut podium.
Yeah, really remarkable.
And that huge teammate collision that, well, kind of defined the whole weekend, didn't it?
Yeah.
Let's unpack what the sources say.
Okay. Montreal, round 10. Always a tricky circuit.
And George Russell on pole, that's 2 years running for him there. Strong qualifying.
It really was. But the grid wasn't quite as qualifying set, was it?
Right.
There were penalties.
Right, the sources point those out. Tsunoda got that, 10-place drop?
Yeah, for passing under reds in practice. And Hajar got 3 places for impeding.
Okay.
Plus, Lawson and Gasly had to start from the pits. Car changes, new power units, parc fume rules.
So yeah, bit of a jumbled grid before they even got going. Weather was good, though.
Warm and sunny for the start, yeah. Which immediately made everyone think about tires. Strategy time.
Big time. The reports say it was key. Most of the front guys, top 13, went for mediums.
Except Norris and Leclerc, yeah. They were the outliers there. Everyone else further back was on hards.
So straight away you're wondering, is it one stop, is it two? Teams were probably debating that hard.
Oh, absolutely. Degradation was the big question mark.
Okay, the start itself. Russell clean getaway.
Yep, held the lead. Verstappen right behind him, no issues for P1 and P2 off the line.
But behind them,
Yeah.
things happened fast.
Yeah, Kimi Antonelli, what a start. Put pressure on Piastri straight away and got past him for third by turn 3. Sources really emphasize his confidence there.
Wow. And further back, bit messy.
A little bit. Albon tangled with Colapinto, bounced across the grass, lost places. Hülkenberg picked up a few spots from that.
So the early laps, Russell leading, but Verstappen keeping him honest. Within DRS.
Yeah, Verstappen stayed close, definitely within that 1 second window. Kept the pressure on. Antonelli and Piastri were a couple of seconds back initially.
And the drivers were already feeding back tire info.
Oh, yeah, crucial stuff. Piastri apparently said front dig was okay, better than practice, but rear dig was worse. And Verstappen was on the radio saying his tires felt, quote, fragile. That's gold for the strategist, tells them if the plan needs changing.
That feedback must have triggered the stops then. Verstappen first.
Yep, lap 13 came in for the hard tires, trying that undercut.
And Russell covered him off.
Perfectly. Pitted the very next lap, went for the C4s, the medium compound, and crucially, the sources stress this, came out just ahead of Verstappen, held track position.
Smart. Antonelli led for a moment then, before his stop.
Briefly, yeah. Then Piastri inherited the lead. With Hamilton and Norris behind him, they were going long on those starting tires, trying something different.
Right, the alternative strategy players. Hamilton pitted soon after Norris got past him.
He did. Which briefly gave McLaren a 1-2, although, they still needed to stop.
Piastri came in lap 17, rejoined behind Antonelli. So around lap 20, Norris and Leclerc are leading but haven't stopped.
Correct. Then it was Russell, Verstappen, Antonelli, Piastri, Hamilton.
And Hamilton sounded like he was struggling.
Yeah, the sources quote him saying, "I'm nowhere in this race." Sounded pretty down. Lost time in traffic, fell like 10 seconds behind Piastri at that point.
Ouch. Albon pitted late, lap 24, but already had issues.
Yeah, reports mentioned a power unit concern even then. And Leclerc was talking strategy codes, plan C, plan B, lots going on.
So as the first stops cycle through, Russell makes a move on Leclerc.
Yeah, passed him for P2 on track, set his sights on Norris up ahead.
Leclerc then pits, lap 29. Takes hards. That sounds like a definite two-stop.
It does. But interestingly, the reports caught his radio message. He sounded confused. I don't understand this choice. Question why they stopped when the tires felt okay to him.
Driver versus pit wall. Classic F1 tension.
Exactly. Norris pitted a lap later, took mediums again. The sources reckon this kept his options open. Maybe a one-stop was still possible, maybe not. More flexible than Leclerc seemed to be.
Okay, so lap 33, everyone stopped once. Russell leads Verstappen by about 3 seconds.
Yep. Then Antonelli, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Hamilton. Ocon and Sainz were up there temporarily, hadn't stopped yet. Alonso in P10. And Hamilton apparently repeated he was nowhere.
Still struggling. Right second stops. Verstappen kicks it off again, lap 38.
Looks like it, yeah, for hards again. Sources suggest it was maybe a reaction to Antonelli catching him, dropped him to P6 for a bit.
Antonelli followed suit.
Pretty quickly after, yeah. Came out right behind Verstappen. Game on between them.
Russell's second stop, lap 43. Another set of mediums, the C4s. Timed well.
Seems strategic, yeah. Avoided traffic, came out P4, but still ahead of Verstappen, which was key.
Piastri led for a bit before his stop. Said the car was getting tricky.
Yeah, getting harder to drive was the quote. Maybe tires going off. He rejoined P6 behind Antonelli. Norris pitted lap 48, came out right behind Piastri.
Setting up that battle later.
Yeah.
Anything else happening down the order?
Yeah. Stroll and Gasly had a tangle fighting for P17. Stroll pushed Gasly wide, got a 10-second penalty for it.
Okay. And Albon's day ended then?
Yeah, that power unit issue finally forced him out. Yellow flags for that. Leclerc was still going, but his pace was apparently dropping off before his second stop.
He finally came in lap 54. More strategy chat. Wanted mediums.
Reports suggest he was keen on mediums, yeah. But he got hards again, rejoined 6th, and that's when things got really interesting at the front. Yeah, with those final stops done, the top 5 just concertinated, the gaps managed.
That is where it got tense. You can see the battle shaping up.
Totally. Sources describe it really well. Antonelli versus Piastri for the podium spot. Norris closing right onto Piastri's tail.
And Verstappen's still sniffing around Russell for the lead.
Exactly. Oh, and Lawson retired around then, too. Racing Bulls issue.
Okay, but back to Piastri. He hit traffic, lapping people.
Yeah, crucial moment highlighted in the reports. Got caught up lapping back markers. That let Antonelli pull away a bit in third.
And let Norris get right up behind Piastri, like right on his gearbox.
Precisely. Up front, Russell managed to pull a little gap on Verstappen again, maybe 2 seconds with about 8 laps left. But honestly, all eyes were on that McLaren fight for P3.
It looked fierce. Norris got past at the hairpin.
He did initially, but Piastri fought straight back, took the place back into turn 13, proper wheel-to-wheel stuff.
So side by side, then nose to tail down the next straight towards the final chicane
and the
contact.
Norris went for a move, braked really late, and just hit the back of Piastri's car.
Oof, big impact.
Looked like it. The reports confirm Norris went into the wall, out of the race, lap 66.
Wow. Teammates colliding, fighting for a podium. That's huge. What was Norris's reaction?
Immediate and, well, quite striking, according to the sources. Yeah. Straight on the radio. All my fault. Stupid from me. Took full responsibility right away. No blaming anyone else.
Takes guts to do that immediately. Stewards investigated, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Straight under investigation for alleged causing a collision.
Right. So safety car out to clear Norris's car. Piastri continued.
He did, yeah. Looked like some damage, but he kept going. Smart move by McLaren. They pitted him under the safety car. New tires, quick check, came out in 4th. Didn't lose much time.
Good call. Others pitted, too, under the SC.
Yeah, quite a few took the chance for fresh rubber. There was even a little moment between Verstappen and Russell behind the safety car.
What happened there?
Russell accused Max of overtaking. Max claimed George erratically braked. Bit of tension, but nothing came of it.
So the race finished under the safety car then?
Yep, crossed the line behind the SC. And the winner, George Russell. Massive for Mercedes.
His 4th win and their first of the season.
Yeah.
Finally.
Huge relief for them, you'd imagine. And a great result overall.
So the top 10, Russell, Verstappen 2nd, then Kimi Antonelli 3rd.
What a drive from him. Yeah. Then Piastri salvaged 4th, Leclerc 5th, Hamilton 6th.
Alonso 7th, Hülkenberg 8th, good points for them. Ocon 9th, Sainz 10th.
So yeah, that double podium for Mercedes, Russell winning, Antonelli 3rd, that's massive for them.
And Antonelli debut podium, 3rd youngest ever. That's incredible. The sources must be highlighting that.
Big time. Seen as a major statement. And despite the drama, Piastri actually extended his championship lead, now 22 points.
Wow, even after getting hit. Who didn't finish again?
Norris from the crash, Lawson with the Racing Bulls problem, and Albon's power unit failure. Oh, and reports mention Ocon and Sainz were looked at post-race for maybe driving erratically. Not sure what came of that.
Okay, let's boil this down. Key takeaways, surprises, looking back at the sources.
Well, number 1 has to be Mercedes. Back on top, double podium. The sources hint at updates working well. Maybe the track suited them, managing temps, whatever it was, it clicked.
And Antonelli's podium isn't just a feel-good story, it's significant. Shows his speed and how quickly he's adapting.
Absolutely. Then that McLaren clash. Devastating for Norris, obviously, but his instant apology is a really notable detail from the reports. It raises questions, though, about team dynamics and the title fight impact.
For sure. Hamilton's weekend was also unexpected, given the team's pace.
Yeah.
And the sources give that specific reason, hitting a groundhog.
Bizarre, isn't it? But yeah, damaged the floor, apparently. That would definitely explain why he felt he was nowhere. Cost him aero performance.
Crazy. On the flip side, Alonso and Hülkenberg, just solid drives, getting points, maximizing things. Good to see.
Definitely. And strategy-wise, the two-stop proved the way to go for the leaders. But Leclerc's radio messages, his confusion, that really shows you how tough those calls are in the heat of the moment. Driver feel versus the data pit wall dilemma.
It does. So that wraps up our deep dive into Canada 2025. Mercedes' big comeback, Antonelli's arrival, and that McLaren drama.
Yeah, digging into the sources like this, you really see all the layers, the strategy, the skill, those tiny moments under huge pressure. It's so much more than just the final positions.
Totally agree. Looking ahead, Austria's next. Red Bull Ring.
Yep. Should be interesting.
And here's something to think about from today's race. That Piastri-Norris collision, it was one moment late in the race. But how much do you think incidents like that, especially between teammates fighting at the front, really shape the whole story of a championship season? More than just the points lost that day.
Good question. Definitely something to mull over. How much does one moment change the whole narrative?
Exactly. Food for thought until our next deep dive.